Hello. In Season 2, Episode 13 of the Nickelodeon show Spongebob Squarepants, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward find themselves in the servitude of the Flying Dutchman. When SpongeBob and Patrick find out that the Flying Dutchman is going to eat them because the relationship isn't working out,
"You're setting us free?"
Well, actually, I'm just gonna eat you.
SpongeBob and Patrick make a break for it. The break takes them through the perfume department. As they venture through the perfume department, SpongeBob and Patrick are faced with all-out chemical warfare. They are repeatedly maced in the face with overpriced perfumes from pushy sales reps trying to make a quick buck. Squidward, meanwhile, spends the bulk of the episode perpetually falling in the infamous Fly of Despair. And if you want to find out how long you could survive in the Fly of Despair, watch my video on the topic. I'll link it down below. Without further ado, I present to you what to do to survive the perfume department. As with my video about the Fly of Despair, we're looking at this from the human perspective. It's human hands delivering the perfume, so it's not even that big of a stretch. Before you go, but Nikolai, how could you possibly know what it's like to be in a cartoon perfume department? You're just a human. It is true, I have never been aboard the Flying Dutchman's ship, and I have never been animated. I'm just a human. But I am a human that went to middle school. A human that, while in middle school, went to PE class. A human that, while in PE, had to go into the locker rooms. I am a human that has cumulatively inhaled several cans of Axe body spray during my time in middle school PE class, as it was generously applied by my fellow middle schoolers. Between my lungfuls of Axe body spray and my mild asthma, I think I have a rough idea of what it would be like in the perfume department. Of course, in a traditional perfume department, you can always leave.
I always hate going in there.
Yeah.
In the case of SpongeBob and Patrick, they are forced by circumstance to go through the perfume department. In this particular perfume department, it appears our protagonists are forced to sample perfume through every orifice, regardless of their own consent. It's really messed up. In fact, Patrick proactively wore an elephant trunk gas mask, and an overachieving employee of the perfume department removed it and gassed him with some expensive perfume. It's safe to say that the employees of the perfume department are certainly on the offense. In order to survive, you must avoid or counter the employees. Avoidance doesn't really seem to work. SpongeBob and Patrick ran through the department at a full sprint and still got gassed. And despite Patrick's personal protective equipment, he was still gassed as well. So I recommend fighting back. Lots of perfumes contain methanol. According to the Centers for Disease Control, no human should be exposed to more than 1,000 parts per million of methanol. I think it's safe to say that the perfume department is well above that limit. Putting a human in the place of SpongeBob and Patrick, there are a few ways to survive and even destroy the perfume department. Remember, you've been doing hard manual labor on a ghostly pirate ship for days on end. You're tired and desperate, but you're strong from the exercise. There are few things more dangerous than somebody that has nothing left to lose. For some reason in your cell, there's 2 pairs of ice skates as well as a giant hook that can definitely pierce a skull. You could use these as improvised weapons to ward off the salespeople as you make your way through the perfume department. Another thing in your cell is a lantern, which you could use as an improvised firebomb. It's not currently lit, but if Patrick can get his hands on a gas mask, I'm sure you can make a spark by scratching the skates together or possibly against a rusty nail to ignite the wick on the lantern. Except you'd be underwater and you wouldn't be able to light it on fire. Except remember, we're doing this for a human version, so you'd have access to normal Earth atmosphere, which contains oxygen, which you need to breathe and fire needs to burn. Depending on the concentration of methanol in the atmosphere of the perfume department, you could just throw the lantern into it and it would ignite the entire department and create a massive explosion, not unlike a fuel air bomb. And don't worry about the scorched remains of the perfume department. The scorched walls would really fit the aesthetic of either Hot Topic or a Spirit Halloween would move in shortly thereafter. And the life cycle of the retail store would carry on. Nature truly is beautiful. My last and favorite idea of how to survive the perfume department would be to use the lantern not as an improvised Molotov cocktail, but as a pilot light. By the way, don't try this at home. I actually haven't tried this myself. I like to keep my fingers intact, and I like to be not that burnt when I can avoid it. When you're in the perfume department with your inconspicuous lantern, simply tell one of the sales reps that you'd like to apply the perfume yourself, and they'll happily oblige, thinking they're gonna get a sale. Once you have the perfume in your possession, you have a fuel source and a pilot light. Boom, a flamethrower. The fact of the matter is there's a multitude of ways to make your way through and survive the perfume department and escape the Flying Dutchman's ship. Obviously, you could just steal the Flying Dutchman's dining sock and use your expert negotiation skills
3. Take it or leave it.
to barter it for 3 wishes. And then you could use one of those wishes to wish the Flying Dutchman was a vegetarian, and then you would be home free. Of course, the Flying Dutchman could turn you and your friends into fruits and vegetables and create a delicious yet high-fiber smoothie that is great for warding off scurvy. How would you survive the perfume department? Comment down below. And don't forget to check out my video on how to survive the Fly of Despair. It gets pretty odd pretty fast. Have a good one now. Bye-bye.